Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Brandlive.co.za, 2nd of November, 12:30. You're here with me, Thando Mangaliso. Today I fly alone. My wife is up and about, getting ready for her trip to China. She's going to be away for 5 days. I do not know what the hell I'm going to be doing with myself in those 5 days. But anyway, you know, as they say in Old English, the show must go on. 2nd of November, oh my word. Last month of the year, last former month that is. And the reason why I say former month, I always think of the year in between, you know, the 13th of January and the end of November because of my children, school kids. As everyone knows, I've got 4 children, and the crazy thing is they're on 4 different campuses, and some are on 3-term and others are on 4-term schedule. So throughout the year, I never get like a full week just to relax or whatever it is. I have to take people to school every day, and you know, but that's part of being a parent. It's part of what I love. In fact, having children is a great part of my identity, you know. And they just make me very, very happy. Oh my word, guess who has just walked in? Oh my word, I cannot believe it. I thought she wasn't going to be here, but my beautiful wife has just stepped in. And not that I was nervous, but you know, a huge sense of relief. You know, we do a lot of things together, and part of what we do together is this fashion blueprint. And she's just walked in now, so you'll get a word from her right now. And yeah, you know, another week has gone by, and in typical form in South Africa, our phones were abuzz. Our phones were buzzing. Everyone's phone was buzzing. Instagram was buzzing. Twitter was buzzing. You know, the whole debacle with the sex tape that got leaked out, the one that Mr. Gigaba had, and you know, just the controversy, the confusion. And as you know, in South Africa, we love a bit of that, you know. We love a little bit of confusion. We love a bit of controversy. Everyone was having a full go.
Controversy loves us, isn't it?
Yeah. So so tell me, Mimi, what do you think of the video, and what should be done? In all honesty, because you know they're conflicting views here. Other people are saying it's his personal life, and he sent it on his personal capacity to a personal phone. What do you think the deal is? Huh?
I don't know. It's a very hard one, to be honest. You know, there's a lot involved. There is his personal life. There is Mrs. Gigaba. I guess we should decide on what should happen, seeing that she was the intended recipient of the video.
Oh.
I know that many people don't believe it.
And what about the WhatsApps that were going backwards and forwards of threats?
Well, that's just
incredible, you know.
No, well, it reads like a soapy. It's
in South Africa, the soapy overseas has got a limit. You know, there's a limit to where, you know, if you think of The Bold and the Beautiful, it stops at some point before it goes right down the hill. In South Africa, on the other hand, wow is all I can say.
I mean, this is South Africa, I guess. Crazy things happen. Things continue to have happened. So I don't know, but you know, for me, one of the things that really had an impact on me was Jaba's passing. You know, like when I just think of our people out there, our role models, and what is happening, you know, that really hit me hard. It really cut deep. It really cut deep that there are actually serious things out there, serious problems that are happening, and you know, we should just try and be there for each other. It's what an amazing guy, you know. So many people are just sad. They're just thinking of his works, and I think also it just highlighted how sad life can be when you are somebody like that who's strong and giving. People don't necessarily realize what you're going through, because you know, think of somebody with a personality like you who's like out there, you know, outgoing. You always have a kind word to say to somebody, because that's your nature. And when people like that go through things, nobody really knows. Nobody ever feels it. They're not. And also with men are not expressive like us women. We talk, we vent, we let it out, and that really helps.
That's incredible. You know, depression is a silent killer, and unfortunately, what we need to do is we need to learn from our white counterparts in this country that, if someone is depressed or if you're feeling a certain way, there are places that you can go get help, and that, you can't just bottle it up, because the more you bottle it up, I can imagine it becomes, when you think of, thought, and you think of the subconscious and, what's going on in people's heads, even though they're here, but what is going on subconsciously. He's lived with this illness for a while. I remember yesterday, I think it was, in 2015, he was being interviewed by Fresh on Radio 5, and he was talking about the fact that, he wanted to take his life, and how tough things were, and how nothing was done, and what we're saying to people out there is that, look, things are bad. We're all under pressure, but taking one's life. I
think also the problem is the stigma, that people worry that if I admit that I'm not feeling well mentally, that people will think you're crazy, you're loony, you're lazy, you're seeking attention. But if you told people that you've got back problems, no one would laugh at you, which I find funny. Our brains and our intellect and our minds, they make sure that everything else functions. So, and we look after everything else. People exercise, people run, people take care of their skin, people eat good food. But how much do we, how much maintenance do we put in our heads, in our minds, in our souls, into our mental health? Not much.
Oh.
And therefore it is no surprise when we do break down, when our mental faculties are not functioning at their peak. It's I see Tianis is walking in, yay. So it's not so shocking, I just think that we need to remove the stigma of mental health and make sure that people can get help, and it's actually okay to say I'm not feeling okay. There's nothing wrong in that. And I think if people are allowed to voice that out a lot more, it would be a very different story than what is happening now. So I think we just need to be very careful.
Yeah, and our condolences, God.
And our condolences to his family, and treat each other with kid gloves, and just be very sensitive. Hey, welcome.
Right. And also, our condolences go out to his family as well. I think, the sad thing that has happened, as does in many times when relationships aren't formalized, his wife has had to go to court now because she wants to bury him. His parents want to bury him in Mafeking. They are even denying the fact that she is his wife.
You've arrived. Destination is on your right.
It's just unbelievable. So we just hope that they solve that as soon as possible.
Do they have kids?
I think they do have 1 or 2 children.
Well, they must do what's best for the children.
That's why.
They must get together. Stop fighting.
Yeah,
it's sad as it is. But hello. How are you? Tianis joins us. We're very excited to have our Mr. SA contestants in studio, looking amazing as you. I love the hair. I have to say.
Thank you.
No, but you're wearing the wrong jumper, buddy. There should be it should be black and white, and there should be a skull and a crossbow.
Yeah, if I had to choose a soccer, I'd probably be a pirate. That's I'm an Orlando Pirates.
Undercover.
I'm undercover.
I'm winding up, my friend. I'm winding up.
Yeah, this is my colours. I work for Bitfish, so which means these are my colours.
This is brilliant. So do you dress like this on a Friday?
Yes, Fridays
You're allowed to look like. That's so cool.
We're allowed to wear Bitfish merchandise on Fridays.
So it's like team.
Yeah, it's like creating like a fun vibe. We're building a team and a family, a Bitfish family. So
that is exciting. How was your week? Where have
That's
you been?
good. No, I've been busy. So and I'm excited. Today is basically a really exciting day. We're in the Mr. South Africa World. They've launched a charity thing that we're going to do. Not a charity, but a challenge. That starts today. Today is day 1, and then they'll, for the next 30 days, give us 30 different challenges. And day 1 today is all of the contestants need to show what it is to be chivalrous, to be a gentleman. So then we all have to do something.
Chivalry is not dead.
Chivalry is not dead, exactly.
Hallelujah.
And how can we show, what are we doing to show that that it's not dead, as well as what do we believe? What do we believe it means to be a gentleman?
Oh,
So
wow.
it's
So
fun.
have you executed your challenge today? Have you had opportunities?
I've had opportunities, but it's so tricky because you want to do something really nice, but at the same time you have to take a photo, and then it feels like is people
Is
going to
it
perceive it to be
genuine?
fake? Are you pretending now just for a photo? So I think since today is day one of the challenge, I was hoping to. They say that charity and chivalry and gentlemanliness starts at home.
Yeah, bro.
So I'm definitely going to make a special date today with my girlfriend and maybe treat her like a
Oh my
gentleman
God.
to
You know
the
his girlfriend
nth
is-
degree.
Callista. Remember
The
we
model.
Yeah, what a small world.
Okay,
We shot like so many campaigns. What a small world. We shot
Small
like 2 or
world.
3 campaigns. How is Callista?
She's doing well,
Oh, wow.
we are expecting a baby. Yeah.
Oh,
so I tell you.
congrats, guys.
Thank you. His name will be Callisto. It's like a manly version.
Wow, Callisto, baby.
Yes, it means most beautiful, and also if you read up more about it, the name also means it's a people's person, not someone that's
Wow.
materialistic and that wants to make a difference in the world, basically. So I feel it's
It actually does capture the essence of you guys.
yeah, thanks.
That
So
is
we're really
amazing.
happy. So we want to.
When is it coming, Baba?
It's coming on next year. The due date is 10th of March, but it might be earlier if we're
I
going
hope
to do
it's 14th,
cesarean.
my birthday.
On the 14th of March. I think it's going to be 14th of Feb.
Valentine's.
Yeah.
No, congratulations, my
wow.
friend. We've worked with your lady for many years, and not just obviously you work with a lot of people, and she's part of the school of being professional, being nice, understanding that look, I'm a model, and I'm a sort of like when you're a model, you're literally a hanger of clothes. Now girls have got egos and this and that.
She just
Get to
gets
shoot,
the
she
brief
just
and
gets
she
it
just-
and also pulls it off as well. You also need the character.
Yes.
You need that character.
Even when
so-
things are not working. In fact, that's usually the strength of a great model. When things aren't working, they
make-
help you. They make you look good. They make the effort look better. So
Yeah.
we've had some exciting. But I can't believe you two found each other. So there's
Yeah.
hope in this world.
Yes.
People do find each other.
Yeah, and it's quite a romantic story, I think.
Yeah, please
Okay,
tell
hold
us.
on. Sorry, my producer's just indicating to me that we need to go on ad break. This thing is not for free. We've got to go pay bills. We'll be back on the other side
And
of
we
this
start on this romantic
with
story.
the romantic story, which is the theme to Love Story.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
This is what you missed on the social show.
My first question then is, where are these hubs of economic development? Which township do I find a hub of economic development? Why must, if the focus is really capacitating the disadvantaged, why must I climb onto 3-4 taxis to get to a certain area? A certain area has got about 6 to even 20 of these, right? Coming from Alexander or Tembisa. So you then find that there is a township economy, but the people that are living within this township economy, that are starting businesses in this township economy, are not full participants of this township economy.
For more, go to www.brandlive.co.za.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
No, it doesn't need. All right, we're back after paying bills with my man here discussing the whole romance vibe with his wife, his new wife. So
It's so
hit us up,
sweet.
hit us up.
That is just so amazing with the I can't imagine what she's probably but she doesn't know. She's gonna be so excited.
Let's not
Yeah.
talk too much about this because if she
Actually,
listens to the podcast,
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
it's cool, it's cool.
Anyway, as we were saying,
And this is an
we were
anonymous
talking about
guest,
chivalry.
please.
We're talking about chivalry,
chivalry.
actually. That what
Yeah.
your plans are, what
Yeah.
you're hoping to do this weekend.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about, so the challenge for today is literally today. Tomorrow there'll be a different
Oh,
challenge.
there'll be a different challenge.
Yes, for the
Oh,
next 30
wow.
days. So I'm excited to know what tomorrow's challenge will be. But I mean, everybody should literally go and follow us because they can see all the contestants interpreting their view on does it mean to be chivalrous, because that's the challenge for today. And to see, we want to be role models. And like I said last time, we want to, this pageant and modeling and all those type of things, in my view, are things to bring out the best version in each of us.
Wow.
And we tend to forget to be chivalrous. And I think we all have it in us, but we forget because it's just not always second nature. So and this is actually a really great thing. I was so excited when I got this challenge because it reminds us to be gentlemen. And some of us
Good to each other.
yes, and to be good to each other and see. So now I was excited. What am I going to be planning? And I wanted to take her to ballet, and I always open the door, so I still want to continue to do that.
Aw.
And I want to
Do
see
you know
what
how
else I
many
can do.
guys forget to open the door? I think
I
we
hope
must,
you're not talking about me.
I think we must do it as a challenge out there today, guys. You need to notice every time you open the door and count how many times today will you open a door for a lady. They forget because
Yes.
also we live in like this busy world, and also I suppose when it comes to men, they sometimes don't want to seem to be, I don't know, overbearing,
Yeah.
to be too much, or like I'm opening the door for you because you can open, I'm implying
Yeah.
that it's heavy for you.
Yes.
Meanwhile, that's not what it's about. It's just
Yeah.
about you just being a gentleman, you doing something kind for somebody else.
Yes.
As in you would open a door even for your dad or your
Yes.
brother,
Yes.
in a
Yes.
way,
Yes.
just out of love.
Yes.
But it's just that people these days are so like highly strung and with boundaries and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
That they forget those things.
Yes.
That sometimes people just do things out of love.
Yes,
There is
that's the-
actually no bigger agenda than
Yes.
that. It's not that deeply thought. It's
Yes.
just in that moment.
Yeah, it's basically it's one of the languages, but I don't know exactly which language it is.
Uh-huh.
But it comes the way. There's a word that they say which means "I see you,"
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what basically chivalry is about seeing someone. So you see a girl's behind you, you don't know her, but to show her that you see her,
I
you don't just
acknowledge
slam the door in her
you.
face because you didn't
Yes.
care. You actually open the door, and I always think that the best way of opening a door is anyway to walk through first as a guy, and then hold it open
out.
because if you are letting her walk first, you're sort of blocking half the way because you're trying to keep it open and stretching, and it actually looks uncomfortable, and then it sort of
Doesn't do
defeats
it.
the purpose. You want to show that you're comfortable, but you acknowledge it, but you're not busy falling over your own feet to try and do something.
Maybe
I
maybe
think
when
you
the
put
when the
it-
guys do that, they know that the doorway is small. Closer contact,
So I guess it's
sorry,
all
I'm
based
just-
on
I'm
what
just-
you-
That is so
having a go. I'm having a
sly.
go.
But I love how you put it, where you're saying being chivalrous or just opening the door for somebody says, "I see you." I love that because I think that's what a lot of us suffer from, that thing of being invisible.
Yes.
I mean, you might not relate. You're tall, good looking. You got a great job. Got an amazing woman. So you guys, I'm sure wherever you go, people look at you. But you'd be surprised how some people just like feel so invisible. Like nobody cares. Did I wake up? Did I not wake up? Am I here? Am I making a difference? And sometimes we make people feel like that. The world makes people feel like that, even though they
Yeah.
don't necessarily feel like that about themselves. Where
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
disregard.
Yes.
So I just love what you're saying, and also I just think it just adds such a whole new dimension to a pageant. I love how you guys are, and especially you being here right now, you are redefining what a pageant is. I mean, just your whole composition, the fact that, I mean, without knowing you that well, but your values, they come across so strongly, and that's like so important. But I mean, I know Calissa, I think I know you same tribe really, and it's so amazing how your values are coming across in your work and what you do, and that's really admirable, especially in this beauty of glamorous world where people think anything goes, you must step on anybody to get, as long as you're at the top.
Being
That's it.
vicious and being fake is part of the whole thing, and you
Yeah.
guys have just turned it around completely. It's
Turn the thing-
amazing. It's
they turn
amazing.
the
It really
whole
is
thing
amazing.
upside down. where
Yeah.
you are actually building to be role models, because that's
Yeah.
what our kids, especially the boy child,
Yes.
you know, like the girl child, especially like in some of our communities, like when you turn like 10 or 11, you're basically on your own as a boy child. You play in your room, you play outside, you do whatever. And the girl's sitting there with the mom, they're cooking, they're doing things. When the mom needs to send somebody, they're sending her. The dads are out working. So our boy kids don't actually have role models. They don't have people that can literally hold their hands on the small things. Because also people think that the life is all the big things. Are you getting an education? Are you getting this? But your everyday life is determined by the little things you do.
I can't agree more.
The quality of your life. Like, you open a door for somebody, the smile they give you. I'm sure you know, because you live like that. You can see the gratitude in people, those little things, and what it does for you.
Yeah.
That it's all, the quality of life is really in the small things, and I think that's really incredible.
I agree.
Now tell me something. We're in November now, and I just if you can just walk us through what the pageant is going to look like in between now and March. What are the steps?
Okay.
So and where's the final going to be? So that the people following you, and also give us all your information in terms of people following you and things like
your
that.
social handles again.
Social
Okay.
handles.
So on the one hand, there's a little bit of surprise in all the challenges that are coming. So I don't
Right.
know all the details. What I do know is for this basically whole month of November, there'll be a different challenge every day, which anybody can follow on our Facebook page, which is the Mr. South Africa page, and then they can see what we're up to, and they can get to know the people behind the photos. What are the interpretations of each of these challenges? What are they doing? Are they participating? Do they care? Those type of things. We'll basically build up. There'll be more challenges coming, and then the final will be in March, and then. So far, I think that final is going to be in Cape Town, but there may be a shift to Joburg,
Yes,
which we'll be really happy about.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, no, it must be in Johannesburg. In terms of the ratios of numbers, how many people are actually from the Cape? Or is it all over South Africa?
It's quite all over. I think I think we're probably relatively evenly spread based on the population of South Africa. So I think the most of the contestants are from Johannesburg, and then probably second most Cape Town, and then spread all over. So
And have they chosen the final 12 or whatever it is, or is there still?
no, we still
How many people? How big is the group now?
I think we're about 45, 46, maybe mistaken, and I think it will be trimmed down after, especially this challenge, this 30-day challenge. Then, based on the participation of the contestants and how they are, how they're involving themselves and how they are taking this challenge upon themselves, will determine if anybody is going to be eliminated. Or if not, but in the end, if people are showing that they don't take enough of a seriousness to the competition, they will be eliminated. And then we'll get to March, and I don't know how many finals there will be. I'm guessing
It's
between
usually
12
10
and 12.
It's usually 10 and 12.
Yeah, around there. And so and I guess that's why we all need to show our willingness and our eagerness to participate now. And I think it's an awesome opportunity.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And when is your next meet and greet?
So our next meet and greet, the one that I have is we're going to be on, I think, the 30th of November. We're doing a thing, so me and a couple of the guys from Johannesburg, so like a brotherhood of guys, which is really cool.
Yes.
And we are going to be having our own little Santa hats, and we're going to go into Diepsloot on the 30th of November and hand out Christmas boxes with to all the kids there, and so we have like many boxes, and it's actually really exciting. It's an
That is
opportunity.
amazing.
We're going to be like the Santa helpers. We're going to be not the Santa. There's going to be a Santa, but we're going to
Santa's
Mr.
cute helpers. You're
Yeah,
gonna
the
be-
little elves. We're going to
Wow, such hot elves.
be.
Jeez. We should come join you guys.
Yeah, you must come join.
You know?
And so we're going to be doing more of
It is
that. I don't know what
amazing.
else. We are planning a few
And did you
things
get
now.
lovely support for that Santa drive?
So we got all sorts of little gifts and things going. So
Excellent.
it's really exciting.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, I remember I did a few of those when I was a bit younger, and it's amazing. We take it for granted that you're able to give your children Christmas presents, and everyone gets Christmas presents, but other people just don't have You know, you just don't have.
It reminds me of that song that they did once in the 80s. I think it was it Bob Geldof? They did a song called "Do They Know It's Christmas" with British artists.
I think so. I can't.
Because if you think about it, if you guys went dressing up and going to give gifts, for some kids, they wouldn't know it's Christmas. You know, and it's actually amazing that today it would just be like,
Especially out in Diepsloot. I mean,
Another
okay, you've got
day.
them all across the road, but I mean, like in that whole squatter camp environment, it's harsh, you know. And the work that you're doing there is just commendable. At least, you know, like
and
I
just
said,
your presence there, it speaks to that thing you were saying, that I see you.
Yes, we see
Even
you
those
exist.
kids need to hear that
Yeah.
somebody sees them. You know, I see you. I acknowledge your existence
Yeah.
and I value you.
Yes.
You know.
I was thinking about taking some soccer balls and so, and just like also instead of, and then it's nice to give a gift, but also to just spend time. You know, there's like there's most of 5 love languages, and one of them is gifts, which is great. But quality time is also very valuable, and then you have the other 3, which is physical touch, being able to maybe hug them and give them the gift, and also words, which is saying something nice to them while you're there. So we actually have an opportunity
I
to
never
show
heard
love
of this
to these
before.
kids.
Give them to me again.
The 5 love languages are physical touch, which is loving by holding and how, you know, physical touch. Then words by the things you say. Then quality time by just being there and saying I'm
So
here with
important.
you. Then there's services, doing little things for the one you love, and then there's gifts, giving things.
It's so amazing. Where do you learn these?
So that's on the internet, and it's important
love
because
them.
it actually teaches you to love, and it makes you also realize where's your strength and where's your
Teaches
weakness.
you to love, because we
Yeah.
all think we can.
Yeah, we all think we know what love is until you
Yes, like
learn about
You
it.
really take time to learn. Because why
Yeah.
would we think we don't need to be taught about love? You get taught how to add 1 + 1,
Yes,
and that's really straightforward.
yes,
But loving is that much more complex.
yes.
That there is a way to love. I like what you're bringing, the fact that it's something that you need to learn. Because
Yeah.
there are times when you try to show kindness. Many a times, I'm sure you can think of lots of examples where somebody has gone out of their way to try and help, but it's not well received on the
Yes.
other side.
Yeah,
Not because there's no need. The need is there, but there's just a certain miscommunication in
Yeah.
this thing that you're doing it for me. Why do I look helpless? Do you think I can? You know,
Yeah.
things can get so complicated. Or
Yeah.
you being better.
yes,
So I like how you gotta learn the languages so you can assess
Yeah.
which tool to use in the appropriate situation.
yes,
You
yes,
know?
100%. And everybody grows up with different versions of love language. I mean, you basically get carried from your parents. The way they love you, that's the language that you learn. And you know, if you're not exposed to the other love languages, it's just not your comfort. It's just not a language you don't know. It's like
You having to
it's
speak
like growing.
Japanese
Yes,
out
it's
of
like
the blue.
if you grow up in a Japanese house and somebody else speaks English to you, you just won't understand. It doesn't. But that doesn't mean you can't learn. It's just hard
True.
for you to understand it, and you need to
To make
find
the
that middle
transition.
ground.
Yeah.
okay.
Wow, that was quite
That
deep,
was
actually.
deep.
I've learned something new. I thought I'd learned a lot about love, but today I learned that there are 5 different languages, and wow.
Yeah.
And how appropriate one is over the other in different situations.
Yes, and also just on that, it's actually very important to, when meeting someone, to make sure your love languages are aligned, because it is like a Japanese person and a Chinese person. They can't communicate, so which means there's no communication, and then you don't get the full value of the relationship.
No.
Whereas if you both speak the same language, or you have the same languages are in order of priority, then at least you are fulfilling each other, because what you are saying the other one is hearing, and vice versa.
Wow. No,
All
that
right.
is-
Well, then, on that profound note,
Yes,
guys,
sir.
it's time to book out again. You know how time flies when we are here. I thought I was going to be alone. Next thing, I was joined by my beautiful wife. My man here came through as well, very strong. So, guys, Fashion Blueprint once again. See you next week. And in the words of Richard Quest, what can I say? Let's make sure that everything that we do is profitable.
No, thank you. Any last words, Tians? We look forward to having you again next week. I think we have a lot to talk about, and especially as we're going towards Christmas, I think it's gonna, as much as it's an exciting time for a lot of people, It's going to be a terrible time for some people. It's the end of the year. People are depressed. People are not sure where to go. And I think together we can help people be the best versions of themselves.
Yes.
We can help and say to people, we see you. I
Yes.
love that. We see you. We acknowledge you. You
Yeah.
matter.
Yes, bring smiles to people. I mean, it brings a smile to yourself. I think that will probably be the gift that you can give. As they say, a smile is free. So if you can you can firstly smile, but also I think a smile will automatically create a smile. So that's
It
already
does.
it's already enough.
contagious. It's
Yes.
contagious. Thank you so much. See you next week. And yes, thank you for joining us on the Fashion Blueprint. Catch us on www.brandlive.co.za. Thank you.
Thank you.
Live from 27 Boxes in the heart of Melville, this is brandlive.co.za.